I just thought, oh man, I'm going into this big, overproduced
What a
Hollywood.
transition.
Yeah, and I was just thinking, there's no way in hell they're going to let me do anything. Hey, Robert.
Hey, Mike. It's good to meet you.
Good to meet you. How's it going, friend?
Thanks for doing this. Yeah, I'm good. I'm very busy, but I was absolutely excited to take some time out to do this, and I'm glad you were as well.
Yeah, me too. It's morning over here in the US on the East Coast, so I have a cup of coffee
I
instead
was
of
I
tea.
was I was going to ask, yeah, before we begin, are you drinking tea
I'm
or coffee?
drinking coffee.
It's coffee. Yeah, see, I'm drinking water, so we're
Uh,
already letting BAFTA down by not drinking
Hydrating.
tea.
I
So
know we are. We are half the down. Oh well.
never mind. Yeah. So where do we find you right now? You're on the East Coast, did you say? New York.
Well, I'm in Ohio, so it's technically
Okay.
the Midwest, but we're on East Coast time.
That's home for you, isn't it? Ohio. You're
Yeah,
from.
yeah. That's where my family is. So I'm just been here hanging out and being with fam.
I guess the best place to start would just be by saying congratulations on all of the success of West Side Story,
Oh, thanks. Well, being a
including,
film
of course.
composer, that's probably one of your, well, maybe I'm putting words into your mouth, but how is the music?
For me, they assembled the best team possible that they could have for this film, in the casting, but also the team behind the scenes, especially music. It was just so well done. But
I've been listening to a lot of John Williams lately and on like my drives, and it's just like, Steven knows how to really put together a like a movie.
yes, yes. I mean,
The
Williams
music
is
has so much to
the
do with
best.
that.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I could talk about the genius of John Williams for days on end. But yeah, so obviously, yeah, congratulations on the nomination for Best Supporting Actor at the BAFTA Awards. Does that feel like a nice kind of capstone to what has been a really long project? Because this came about, was it 4 years ago? This all started kicking off.
I don't know anymore at this point. I think it's 3 years ago. We
Okay.
finished we filmed in 2019. So that's when we finished end of September 2019 is when we finished.
Okay. Yeah.
And then of course with the thought that the film would come out the following December. And of course that did not happen due to the pandemic, which I think was better. To wait and allow people the opportunity to feel safe enough to go into a cinema again. But yeah, I mean, being nominated for a BAFTA, it's like, wow, that's so lovely. It's so lovely. It's like it's very I don't know, it's hard to kind of illustrate my thoughts about it. Honestly, I just kind of feel like it really, I guess, like for me, as an individual, being nominated for BAFTA, it just goes to, I think, show the love and dedication that the entire cast put into it. Not just the core 4 or 5 actors, but really like all of the Jets and all of the Sharks and everyone. I mean, this was pull out all of the tools out of the tool bag and bring everyone with their A game, and it was a real collaborative team effort to make this thing.
Yeah, you definitely get that sense watching it. I mean, so just, I guess, going to the start, you land the role, and the sort of realization that you're going to be in West Side Story kicks in. Do you start to feel any kind of pressure in taking on such a huge role in this titan of a musical, and especially, I guess, considering you're knowing that you'd be leading out the film with some of the opening numbers with Jet Song and things like that. Did that play on your mind at all when you started to get going?
Well, yeah, I tend to get anxious or have a bit of anxiety before every project, no matter what it is. I'm always like, oh my God, what did I sign myself up for? I can't do this. Why did they hire me? What are we thinking? What are we doing here? I always like have this awful thing in my whole body that before like starting any sort of project. And this turns out was no different. It was a long process to finally realize that I had gotten the job. It was very anticlimactic and unceremonious. I was working on a film in Atlantic City, and I got a call from my agent on a Friday saying, can you be at rehearsals on Monday morning? So I said, okay, I guess that's what I'm doing Monday morning. And we just started, and that was in February of 2019. And we went, like I said, all the way through September. And I think coming off of that other film, I was just shooting this indie, and I was really having a great time with it. It was a very small indie film, a two-hander with me and the lovely actor Jessica Heck. And I just thought, oh man, I'm going into this big, overproduced Hollywood.
What a transition.
Yeah, and I was just thinking, there's no way in hell they're going to let me do anything. I'm just gonna have to just wear the costume, stand on my mark and like say the line and just kind of like be the prop. That's really how I felt going into it. I was nervous about that. And to my amazement, I could not have been more wrong. Steven was the most collaborative director possibly I've ever worked with so far. In the sense of he really wanted to listen to what I had to say. He really wanted to empower not just me, but everyone to show up and, bring their ideas. And it's a really smart director, really smart person to do that, because at the end of the day, like Steven wins, and he can always like, you know what I mean? Like, if it's a great idea, then like it's Steven's idea. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and there's no wrong things. You just got to like throw everything out there. And Steven really cultivated, I think, just truly like the best collaborative, most team-oriented environment for all of us, and provided a safe enough space for us to really take ownership of our departments and our jobs.
Yeah, I think I think that's sort of the sign of a great director, isn't it? Or just leader. It could be anyone in any sort of profession in the industry, but someone who knows when to step in and sort of put the foot down, but also when to allow people's creativity to come into and collaborate, as you said.
It's like such a fickle mindset, making a movie, especially as an actor, because, you have all these moving pieces and parts and people are running around, and your job is to just stay focused on what you have to do, the task at hand. And there's all these moving pieces. And so even like, there's something that was said to me, even the right note given at the wrong time is still the wrong note. It's one of those things that like, it really is like such a, all of the cogs in the machine have to be working in order to make the thing. And Steven is so well attuned and just really cognizant and aware of it all.
It's so nice when you work on a project and outside of what you're actually doing work-wise is a nice experience in itself, because it just makes everything so much better. I did hear one story, and I really hope this is true, that you went LARPing on your time off. Is that right? Yeah. I've never been, but it just sounds like the most fun you could have in like an afternoon,
It is super fun. It is super fun. It was, so one of the things, after our first official day of rehearsal, I took all of the Jets out for a drink, and we were just chatting and getting to know each other and hanging out. And I said to everyone, I wanted everyone to come up with an activity, and no matter what it was, we all had to do it. And I called them Jetivities, is what I did. And Kyle Allen, who plays Vulcan, lives in LA, but was in New York, obviously, for the filming of West Side. And got on Facebook and joined this LARPing group because he's actually very into it. He's very serious about his LARPing. And he's a bit of a ninja himself. Like, he's actually probably a trained assassin for all I know. And we decided, you know, he was always saying, "Oh, come through if you'd like," you know. And so we actually surprised him on one Saturday morning, showing up as the group, as the Jets, and we got our asses kicked, man. I mean, it is brutal. No one's holding back during.
They take it so seriously by the looks of it. It's like
they take it so seriously, and it's like, I mean, it's like full contact football without any pads or anything. You're just getting your ass kicked the entire time.
Great way to release stress when you're not filming.